Hey there! Welcome to the Foxbox. I'm Tommy Danger, otherwise known as Firefox. And today we want to work on different kinds of folds and also grip changes with our folds. Now, these are strictly going to be mostly a conceptual idea. I want everybody to basically kind of work and explore on their own terms of how to work with these folds and also with these grip changes folds to either come up with their own moves or start to discover other moves that you see online. So it'll be a lot easier to work with this when we go into this description. So the first thing we want to do is we want to work on a basic fold. A basic fold is going to consist of your fans in static motion just being placed right where they're going to be. So our static motion here is going to have your wicks staying together at one point, and this could be any wick of any type. And in the case of our outside wicks is the most standard. We also have inside wicks that can lock together, and our outside that can lock together. They're all essentially going to be like as if I'm locking my fans together in the movement. What we want to do is we want to look at these two fans, and say we're going to have my palms facing outward. Right? They're facing behind me, they're facing the wall here, and the two wicks are almost like they're touching. They're going to be next to each other, almost like they're touching. We want to act like they're attached to each other by a string or a zip line here, and we're just going to take our top fan and we're going to try to make our wrist touch this wrist without moving these two wicks away from each other. We're just going to be dropping the fan straight down like that. Once again. Boom. Now we can take the same thing, we can raise up the other side. We can take our wrist and place it outward while having these together, but just simply raising our fan up this way. And a really good drill to just practice the smoothness of and how you keep them together is if we had our fan straight out in front of us like this, and we just raise up one side, and then raise up the other side, and then place one side down, place one side down. If you notice, as we do this, I am keeping the two wicks next to each other the whole time. From the side. Alright. From here we could also do linear isolations with the same kind of wick. We can take these two and we can have them isolate at one point, or we can linear isolate them, which means drag them up a straight line without having them move anywhere else on the plane. So these are called butterfly isolations too, or butterfly folds. And we're going to just have these 2 points stay together. We're going to raise both of them up and both down. This is just a standard butterfly motion, right? And we can take that same motion and move it linearly without ever having to change the position of our fans either. By taking our pinkies and using our pinkies as a raise point, and instead of taking these two wicks together, we can now have our bottom wicks be the ones that drag up, all the way up, to the back, and all the way down. This is linear butterfly fold. Because we are isolating the one wick right in the middle, up and down the line. So those are concepts you want to use for the outside wicks, and you can explore any kind of folding like that. It's really good for situations where you're stuck in a position and you want to move to the other side of the position. Instead of just pulling back like this, you can add an extra flare by folding up and pulling over here. Or pulling down. However you'd like to do. So folds are a really good concept for these things. I find a lot of times it's really easy to get into 3D spinning, or just coming into a butterfly fold, and then doing a linear fold but diagonally, and stopping at a point to make a good 3D point, or any other point. So now, that's how you get those moves. We also have moves where we can take the two wicks together and isolate them in and out. Down, around, right? We can work on all different kinds of ways where we can just grab wicks at certain points and move them however we need to move them. to do this. So basically you can choose which set of wicks you want to work on, which 2 wicks you want to work on, and just try to isolate them together. Almost like just pretend that they're attached. So our next is our grip changes of folds. Our grip change folds are the same thing as our grip changes like we learned in the first video, where we take our thumb, put it across our fingers, and flick it to the other side, right? If you look, this is actually a fold. It's a static placement, but just changing over to the next side. Well, a good concept of these movements is if we take our fold and we fold it to our thumb, like we usually do, we can actually then push a little bit farther by twisting our wrist in, and now our fans are almost hyperextended onto the inside. This is a really good idea for different kind of folds to set up like this and here. I'm taking that grip change and I'm just flicking it all the way around to have them together. Now that I'm in a thumb movement, I can static move them out. I can unfold them again, fold them back onto myself, twist out if I want, or if I'm in this position, I can ratchet downward, linear isolate across like down to set up for another movement of any different kind. I can do whatever I like from this thumb position on the inside. I have a way of coming out and doing however I need, or I have a way of from here coming out in front of us. Any kind of movement I could take our fan position and fold it however we like. So just something to play with as we take this. We can flick to this side and flick all the way inside. It's a really good motion to get used to. A really good idea too is having your other fan as like an illusionary piece. It almost seems like it's going to be attaching and pulling however you need to. So in this case, if we thumb grip change in like this, we can take our fans and say we're attaching wicks again, right? Like we're doing a normal fold. And we can grip change fold in and then push our fan back out, like in grip change back to our fingers. Which is a really good idea to have that grip change motion in. Now for the finger grip change is if we're in our thumb and we're trying to come out folding wise to our fingers, we can actually fold normal like we usually do to our fingers by flicking them across. However, there's an additional way to do this as well. You can also change your overall varied motion and even add to a new concept here by taking from your thumb grip and you flick it to your fingers and then use your thumb. Your thumb is now free, and it's currently you're using that muscle typically to make the bottom of your fan hold onto the fan in one place. We can take our thumb and actually grab the bottom of the fan here and push. So we're behind us now, where our fans are pretty much parallel in motion to our arm. This is a really good idea to have if we're in this position here and we push out and we push with our thumbs to go all the way out. We can now unfold however we like, and now we're simultaneously spinning on the wheel flat side. Right? So with this motion, we have this extra extension. We can do any kind of motion from here that we'd like to do. However you want to work on it, and however you want to twist your body up in any kind of way you want to do this. So we have this all the way in grip change, all the way out grip change. And I know some of these might be a little awkward of a feeling, but they're nice to work with on different motions that you want to do. So nice fun things to play with, nice things to work on, nice things to discover however you want to fold with. So I hope you enjoy.